show Bermuda what the Olympic Games is going to look like. So what we've done is we've incorporated an event as part of our national championships. Those championships will take place on Friday, and that will feature our junior athletes, under 10s, under 12s, and under 15s. And on Saturday, we'll have the senior national championships, which will feature our senior athletes. And fortunately for us, we were able to bring in some of our top elite athletes. So we have Janai, we have Caitlin, Tyrone Smith will be coming in. We have Saray Shoes over here, we have Summer Ray, we've got Ryan Bridge, and we've also brought in some international athletes to compete against our athletes as well. The highlight of the weekend, one of the highlights, or the main highlights for us of the weekend, is that we are going to get to show Bermuda what the Olympic Games is going to look like. And that's if the rain starts. So we're looking at decorating the stadium with all of our curricular paraphernalia that we have in place for the curricular games. We will be presenting our curricular 2020 team. With that, we will be presenting them with commemorative curricular medals. We will also be presenting our sponsors with commemorative medals. We will have our premier and our minister at the ceremony who will also speak. We will be presenting our top elite athletes, Janai and Tyrone, who we all know were very, very close to making the Olympic Games. We'll be presenting them with the plaque as well to show our appreciation for our athletes. Janai plays second in NCAAs, and we think that's something that we should be celebrating. Tyrone has represented Bermuda at 3 Olympic Games, several World Championships, and we think from the BNAA standpoint that we should be celebrating our athletes when they reach a pinnacle like these two athletes have done. So that will be part of the celebration as well. We'll also be thanking our volunteers, our officials, and our local organizing committee who has worked tirelessly for the last 2 years trying to put these games off. And I can tell you, it was going to be a successful event. Bermuda would have been so proud of that event. So we want to give you a taste of what that would look like, what that would have looked like. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to pass it over to Mia, who is going to come give us an idea of the athletes that we brought in, and then we're going to hand it over to Janai and Caitlin. After that, we're going to present Bermuda with the BNAA's new uniforms and also our new logo. And we are proud to say that the uniforms were designed by a Bermudian, and we'll get her to come up and talk about the design. The logo was also created by a Bermudian, and we will get him to come up and talk about how we came up with the design of the logo. So now I'm going to hand it over to Mia, who's going to talk about the international athletes that we're bringing.
Good afternoon, everyone. So it was actually quite difficult to source athletes at this time of the year because, as everyone knows, the national championships for most countries have concluded. The Olympic teams have been selected, so it was actually quite difficult to get athletes, and we did not get as many as we would have liked, but we did prioritize getting athletes to provide challenges for our elite athletes, including Janai, Tyrone, Suresh, Caitlin, Sonneray. So unfortunately, we weren't able to get any distance athletes because those athletes, as I've been advised, have shut their seasons down, and they wouldn't be competing again until Tokyo if they actually did qualify. So unfortunately, we weren't able to get distance athletes, but we were able to get DeMar Forbes, who has competed in Bermuda before, to provide a challenge for Tyrone. We've also secured LaQuan Nair, who's actually from Bahamas, and he came here for Caribbean in 2012. And him and Janai have been teammates with big competitors for the last several years, so I think that will be a nice competition for them. LaQuan is also doing a long jump to give Tyrone further competition. We secured Margaret Berry, who is an Olympic athlete, as well as Devon DeMoss. So he has an interesting story. He went to the U.S. trials and he got a positive test, and he was unable to compete. So his opportunity, whether he would have made the team or not, it was not able to be realized because of that unfortunate situation. So he is still competing because he got in shape, he still wants to compete, and is offered to provide an interesting challenge for Suresh. We did provide rise to the occasion. And we hope that it serves to be a good show for the people who are able to view it. And we're looking forward to it. They all arrived today. So we hope that we're looking forward to a good game on Saturday.
Okay, so now we have Janai. And Janai, you can tell us about your season, your expectations, your hopes, your vision, your dreams, and what you're looking at going forward. And leave if you have any questions, and then you can ask Janai and Kate. So Kate, you can get ready.
Good afternoon. The season's been interesting, over the years. Academic writing against a high number. We took increase in kind of the college, and sponsored my new coach after the original coach. Kind of how we transition to the triple jump. And, it's been an actual smooth transition. Somebody that I trust, and he helps me out very well and actually cares about me as a person, so I appreciate him for that. And then running around with everybody else, it's been a big help to me as well, just being a mentor and just learning new things about triple jump. It's kind of like high jump, it's kind of still learning stuff, so that's an interesting thing for me, which also makes it fun, so it's been good. But this season's been kind of rough with COVID. I was limited to competitions, which, kind of hindered me in terms of qualifying for the Olympics. There's nothing I can really control. We had two real competitions, which was SEC and national. So I feel like I had a lot more in the tank, and that's why I came back here to compete, which I haven't been able to. Can't even remember how long, so it's interesting. But I haven't competed in that long way since prior high school, so it'll be pretty fun. Overall, for my goals for next year is to kind of base myself back in Arkansas, like with both Coach Gafford and Mr. Roman, just try to get to that next level where I can consistently compete with the best. I feel like I can do now, but just get the knowledge and, that's how I
Good afternoon. This season's been a rough one. So just like tonight, competition, practicing has been very difficult. I'm a nurse, so we haven't been season at all. So all those races that would have benefited me, like the 500, 300, I didn't have any of that. So coming to outdoor season, kind of comfortable, but it was definitely difficult. But I managed this season. I didn't reach my PR, which was like 52. I'm still stuck at like 53, but competition was limited, no facilities. I just came back from Oregon like last week, and that wasn't the best race, but it definitely was nice getting out there and being able to compete with the girls that I used to compete with all the time. I myself think I still have a lot in the tank left, so that's why I want to come here. I haven't raced on track since I'm 5, so this is definitely going to be interesting, and I like the competition. And yeah, that's all I have. This has been a rough one.
One thing that I want to add, Caitlin will be traveling to Nairobi, Kenya. She was qualified for the under-20 championships. Caitlin and Janai have already met the status for the Commonwealth Games as well. So that's a beat that they're on it. So they will be able to prepare and get ready for that. Hopefully, everything goes well. That the Commonwealth Games are able to take place, because we know this book, it doesn't seem like it's going on. One thing that I left is the date and times for the events. On Friday night, the competition starts at 5:30. On the Saturday, we have the Passport relay that starts at the Stephen Doran and finishes at National Sports Center. We have over 20-something athletes that will be participating in that relay. Some will be running, some will be walking. So that's going to be quite interesting. Brian Bell will finish that relay. That starts at 3:30, and we're hoping that it ends at the stadium at 4 o'clock. The track meet starts at 6 o'clock on Saturday. One thing just to advise the public is that we're given an extension The exemption is for 100 persons to be at the stadium. So that's where we are with that. So what we want to do now is bring our athletes forward so that we can show the public our new uniforms, and we're going to bring. Okay, so Neil says steel, and then we'll bring the design up. After that, we will reveal our new BNAA logo, and we'll bring the designer up to discuss how we came up with this new design.
Okay, so as long as I have been a part of the BNAA, my job has been uniform. And that's always been an easy job because our team is not very large, and we also don't have the funding to get full kits like a lot of the other Caribbean countries. So you see them fully outfitted in Puma, fully outfitted in Nike, whatever it is that they have on. That's because they have sponsorship or they can afford to pay for it. So we have to toe a fine line of finding good quality uniforms that are reasonably affordable but also comfortable for the athletes. And it's just so many different moving parts. So since we've transitioned to the pink and the blue, we've used several vendors, and we've had issues with fit, we've had issues with the color not being right, we've had issues with not getting what we asked for, but this time I'm going to say, whoo, we got it right. And I am so excited about it. Mystia Selassie from Mystique is the one who was able to bring our vision to life. I probably stressed her out something serious, going back and forth, seeing things like, can we do this? Let me go have my work on it. And she would send me emails after midnight, and we're going back and forth about it. But I'm happy to say that we were able to come together and create a design that is impressive. And that's the best way that I can. And it's inspirational, and that's how I feel about it. When I see it, it warms my heart. And to see athletes in it for the first time, because no one's worn it. It's been in boxes in our office for the last almost year. So it's really nice to see it on. Janai has on the jacket, Caitlin has on the jacket, but you're about to see some athletes show you the other parts of the tracksuit as well. So come forward, our lovely athletes. So we have Suresh Black in the full tracksuit. He's going to take his jacket off to show you the singlet, which includes a lovely long tail design and the sleeve, which also includes that long tail design. Quite nice. It's been around, right? And then we have the triangle with the long tail in it, wrap, symbolizing the Bermuda Triangle. And we have Sonnery, who is wearing the training kit. She's going to take her jacket off. So that's a simple design, stripes, has a long tail on the shoulder, a long tail on the tights as well. And then we have Brian, who's also in the male kit. And Kayla's going to pop up too, because she has it on as well. She has the full competition kit for females on. So she's going to show you that. Yes, Ryan. That's shoulder. Yeah, so we have the 7-inch shorts for the females. We were trying to figure out some way that the shorts were too short, so we got them a longer shorts so that they're not uncomfortable when they run. The sleeve, that was inspired by Ryan, Kazai Seeley, and Kivante Lewis. And they are known for their sleeve wearing when they compete. So we said, well, let's get them a sleeve. So this is the uniform. We'll have the sleeve come and spin around for the camera. Thank you. Spin around. Thank you. One. Now we'll have the sleeve come off and share her word, whatever she wants to say. Good afternoon, everybody. It was a task, but I am excited, so I seen it for the first time, so you just catch my breath when I watch it. Well, I have a look at the uniform. But yeah, I'm definitely excited that we are reach out to the uniform. So all the time I will
have designed a few schools that reached out for me to do their school uniform, which I have done some school and there's some stuff involved. But then Neil contacted me about doing curriculum, really excited. And actually, thank you very, very much for choosing us to design. Like, I wanted to be able to do design for curricula to help out my country and do design and see them track. It's been over a year. We have had a lot of challenges with COVID and shipping and making sure that the designs are perfect and different examples and trying to do it. If it doesn't work, let's go try something else. So it was definitely a learning curve for us as well. The only time was just me making stuff to please myself and giving the public a like it. But this was more on a larger scale to be able to have the athletes in Mr. Celeste representing the country and really good. So it was, so thank you very much. I'm very grateful and I'm very excited. And I just can't wait to see you guys on track representing Mr. Celeste. So I like it.
This is the finished product. Well, how many different designs did you go through?
So, design-wise, we probably went through 12 designs because what we do is less of everything that Mr. Celeste. We go from design on paper to the manufacture, clean design, from clean design to examples, to my guys going out to market, finding material, to making it, to getting her trying to do it. So there's a long process. So we went through maybe 12, maybe months. Yeah, that's correct. About 12 designs on paper, and then from the 12 designs on paper, we narrowed down and then we started merging designs from other designs. And what we did come up with to think something different was the long tail, the real long tail. So we knew one, no one else that was comfortable with to compete. We'll have the long tail. Everyone will have a circle or a stripe. So we merged the typical stripes, but then we had the long tail just so that we had the Bermuda feel. So when they're on the track, you know that it's Bermuda record. The colors of what the design is different, so that will make sense. That's why we decided on it.
Was there any other feature put in thinking wise before you came up with this?
On top of my head, I was saying, it's called late nights of just thinking in Photoshop, drawing stuff, and then drawing stuff to me, and the drawing stuff back at me, and then it's taking references from offline, so we can take a reference from offline, and just thinking about, okay, well, how can we implement that so that it's different? So it's pretty much, it's a process. So we went from what I was thinking in my mind to references online, to references that Minnesota online, and then between going back and forth, and then sometimes I'm like, oh my goodness, it's 1 o'clock, we didn't even answer. What would be a good answer? I'm like, just up to. So that, and then get up in the morning and say, hey, you want to do this? So it was definitely just a process. And the tracksuits are one of our biggest challenges because when curriculum was supposed to be, the tracksuits was the last thing to be made. And with the shipping and COVID, it was real tough to get the tracksuits certified. We worked on it, but everything survived. And doing these guys are happy and proud to wear it and represent Bermuda. And I hope the public loves it. We did put a lot of love and work into it, and I'm really, really honored and excited that I got that opportunity. So thank you very much.
For a little background, the original uniform was the training suit. The competition set was the training suit as well. But then we saw these birds, and we were like, let's make these birds grow. So that's where we were able to keep both, by having the training kit and then the competition kit different, so that, people would see them walking around in the tracksuits and the stripes, like, oh, this is nice. And then you get to the track and you see those long tails.
The long tails is a big time.
Yeah, that was
Trying
trying
to figure out how we can do the long tails to have them like, and you see they go breaking from the color.
Yeah.
So just say this is a flock of long tails just coming and they start to break out. And then just highlighting that it is a long tail with the white.
Mm-hmm.
So then we had to do the same. And we had to do it so it didn't look too busy, right? It's a thin line that you tread that can make it look like too much, right? But pulling it off.
Do you guys like it?
Of course I like it.
Ryan has got a lot of curriculum uniforms.
So I want to hear from Ryan.
So that's from Ryan.
Oh, you want to hear from it? Okay. Well, okay, so this uniform,
absolutely love. My favorite uniform. I think I was going through how many? Like one, two, like three uniforms. So it was my fourth, and by far my favorite. I like the pink and blue. I love the long tails and the sleeves. I love it. Everything about it. It's a good work.
Okay.
Next slide.
Is there a matching compression sleeve for the legs that has the same image in marking or the armband for those that wear compression sleeves on the shins?
No, but we have hundreds of the maybe they could work, I don't know. They stretch, so yeah, we have different sizes, we have small, medium, and large. So potentially, someone who would want them on their leg, you can probably get the tail of the down to fit their leg. So because this one's a little long, so you can get a short to a 7-inch versus the 11-inch, and maybe.
I think like laptops
I think they're like that.
are like 7 and 6.
Yeah, so you can probably get it back down to 6 or 7, so that it will work for that purpose. Yeah, I'm gonna try it out. Thanks.
Thank you, guys.
Yeah, we've had this for about a year, yeah. We've had all of these for about a year, except for the tracksuit. But because of COVID, we took advantage of COVID and gave the tracksuit some more time to marinate in our minds. Put the tracksuit down. Somebody, anybody. So yeah, so this is a design that we recently came up with. I was gonna say, okay, last 6 months. Yeah, the last 6 months. And so we changed the fabric of the tracksuit. We wanted to put zippers in this place, zippers in that place. It was, yes, legs. So we wanted to make it, we wanted to design it for athletes. We didn't just want it to be pretty. So we had to tap into the director of athletics, who is a former athlete. He was like, we can't have open pockets, that's gonna catch your hands. So we made a lot of adjustments based on athletes so that they would work for the purpose that it's designed for. And we're pleased that they like it. That's the most important part of it.
I do have a question. So with our butts, like with Sonic's pants and even the training pants, when we get on the turf and like on the ground to like do our leg swing, where our butts get like those little beads on it from last, you know what I mean?
I'm not doing it.
Do you know what I mean?
Well, you try it and let us know.
Okay. Yeah, that's all.
Just let me know if you do.
Okay, I'll let you know if I learn.
Yeah.
Thank you, guys.
Thank you.
Okay, so now we'll move to the unveiling of our new BNAA logo. So I will ask David Watson, who has designed the logo, to come up and explain his vision.
Afternoon, everyone. Yeah, so the logo, funny enough, the uniforms actually made my job a little easier than normal. Normally for logo design, you have to concept actually everything for it. The BNAA pretty much told me that they liked the idea of the long tail almost as a mascot. I guess the trouble I had was trying to figure out how to make the long tail not look like this is Bermuda Bird Watchers Association. So I went ahead and incorporated track into it, obviously, and then with the inside section, you have the field. So that's the basic representation of the logo. After that, we have 3 lanes. 3 lanes actually represent sprint, middle distance, and long distance. And then the long tail, of course, representing Bermuda. Then we have 4 trail lines after the long tail, which actually represent track, field, road, and cross country. So I wanted to kind of give the logo overall encompassing meaning. Of course, the color palette, pink and blue, Bermuda. And then a little variation in just different ways the logo can be utilized. utilized to show the flexibility of it. But yeah, pretty classic design. Nothing too crazy. This is for an association, so I always want it to be pretty formal but fun at the same time. And yeah, that's the logo. So, but it'll be used for many years. I mean, funny enough, some history of the logo. My dad actually created the original UTFA logo way back. I created the BNAA logo before this, my first year in college. So it's fun having some years of experience in my field in the industry and kind of, mixing things up and modernizing things a bit. So, yes.
How much easier was this one than the first one you
The
done?
first one, this was hard. The first one was, I want a logo, so a runner with a track and red and blue for Bermuda. So, but this one, I actually concepted it the same way I would, a concept for Adidas, Puma, Disney. I put that into the BNAA logo this time around. So it was a whole different process for me. And me being a little bit more professional in the industry, it's also a longer process as well.
And the inclusive of having road running, cross country and the like, how special was that? Because it's kind of BNAA.
A lot of it comes from World Athletics. World Athletics, they've rebranded themselves as World Athletics as opposed to IAAF. And a lot of that comes from the fact that they're trying to represent all. What I mean, they even are looking at race walking a lot more now. And so for BNAA, they're talking about athletics as opposed to just track and field. So I wanted that to be also something behind it that, everybody in the athletic community feels like it's a part of it.
Okay, cool.
Yep.
Good stuff.
Cool.
So thank you. So do you have any questions? Quiggins over there, nice here. Do you have any questions?
First question before we get to the athletes. We know that we've been struggling with COVID and so forth. And how many athletes do you anticipate on Friday evening, with, especially with the youngsters who haven't really been out training or competing?
Well, at the moment, I just finished talking to Dan Raymond, and he said at the moment we have about 35 athletes that have signed up for the track meet on Friday night. We really wanted to have the weekend of the 29th, but Tyrone and Janine would not have been available because that would have given them an opportunity to gain points, record points, and also, give them an opportunity to qualify in front of the head prop. Unfortunately, both of them had already committed. Also, we would have had even more difficulty trying to bring athletes in. And at that point in time, school would have been. I think we all recognize once school's out, school's out. And, the children, just as Mia said, the athletes overseas shut down, our children shut down. And also, a lot of the clubs have not been able to train due to COVID as well. So for us, this is mandatory. We have to have national championships. This is something from World Athletics. Every single country under World Athletics has to have the national championships. So we said, we're going to have it. And, what athletes are available come up. That's what we're going to have to do. But we had to have it. Either we couldn't use the excuse of COVID this year. Last year we were able to cancel it. But this year, just what every other country had the championships. And the championships were used as the trials. So we had to do it anyway.
What are the numbers looking like for Saturday evening?
Well, Saturday at the moment, I think we have 40-something athletes because 52 is not big enough. So we have 52 for Saturday, and registration closes this evening. So we may have some additional because I know we do have some road races that have signed up to participate as well. We do have some of the athletes that are competing on Friday who have access can they compete Saturday with the over age of the under 17. So right now, as we said, we have 52. We'll see tonight, once it closes. But as I said, it's mandatory. You have to have it. So we've got to do what we have to do.
I heard you say 100 persons. Does that include the athletes as well?
Athletes, officials, and staff.
We are awaiting information from the ministry. We are awaiting additional information from the ministry, so we can't confirm anything more than what we have been exempted for, but we're hoping to get some further direction that would allow for more people. But as of now, we only have what we've already gotten approved for, So if we are informed that we can have more people, we'll put it on social media, we'll let media know, and everybody can blast it out to the public.
We had that several polls. I met polls all morning. People ask me, how can I come? Because people haven't seen the 9-year-old. People haven't seen her. And Caitlin, sorry, everybody has athletes coming. So there are several people that are interested. We also go to size of the stadium. So, people are asking that question. So, as we said, Leah has put that question to the ministry, and you'll see. If it ends up that we could have it, we probably have to look at the safety. So it's a lot that we don't have to do and put in place. But I think the main event and the main day is going to be Saturday. With the ceremony taking place and then the senior championships, I think more of the focus is going to be on Saturday.
Mm-hmm. Well, with the numbers you said during the relay and the number of athletes and officials, there's no room for spectators.
That's one of the reasons too. We broke it up into 3 sections. So as I said, on Friday night we have the juniors. So that will eliminate, those. Then on the Saturday we have the ceremony, which is from the relay starts at 3:30 and finishes at 6. We're not anticipating that several of these persons are going to stay with the event. So we broke it up into 3. So we're trying to work it out where, each 3 we're able to accommodate 100 persons for each of the different sections of the event.
Okay.
Did you know the rationale for the 100, the actual number for the 100 from the ministry? Because that's not really consistent with the indoor numbers over in the States. That's the number we have for indoor facility versus outdoor facility. So I know you guys probably don't know
Let's not
that.
get us in trouble here. That's what we were exempted for. Let's go leave that there.
You there at 100?
Yeah, for now, but we are, like I said, we are waiting for feedback from the ministry with regard to more numbers. So, the doors sound promising, but obviously I don't want to put anybody in the ministry in trouble and promising any of these people before I get official confirmation that we can have more people. But it does look promising that we may get the permission to have more people in the stadium.
Okay, because I know that, and I know
Definitely.
it's different from, we're used to.
And then I guess the other thing too, with COVID, things change daily. As you know, one day we use this. At one point we were 100, now we're back to 50. So every day is changing, and we're trying to adjust as changes happen. And trying to kind of feed our case to a certain extent. Because as you said, you've got to be like the stadium. So we as Leah said, we are in discussion. So hopefully we can come up with something else, and we can alert the public, what the decision is. But as of now, that's
Work it back, ladies.
I'm working on it.
All right, on to the athletes. Janai, switching from what you had claimed to fame here in Bermuda, high jump, to going to triple jump, the transition for you, how difficult was it, or how easy was it over the process of getting to where you were to finish second in NCAAs?
The transition wasn't really too difficult. It's not like I'm fully new to triple jump. I had triple jump. I actually qualified for the career in triple jump where just my strong suit was high jump. But I had triple jump. It's just in terms of focusing my training from, most of the time I was training as a high jump, right? I would just go triple jump. So it's kind of like for fun, I guess. But the transition's been pretty easy, especially with having this a smart coach, like I said, Coach Gavis, probably one of the best coaches in the world. I can keep saying that. Because he just makes it up simple, overcomplicate. He looked at my weakness, he also looked at my strength. He doesn't force me to try to train a certain way, he doesn't force me to try to be like anybody. So it's been real simple, just working on speed, which has really been my only issue. Not like I can't run, but it's just kind of just a mental thing. I don't really have no pace awareness on the runway. So practice used to me flying. We do 30s and stuff and rolling, but then we got into the runway, it's kind of like, I think I'm running fast, but I'm really not. So that's really been my biggest issue. And then also, like I said, well, I'm going to be just a great mentor and coach. Is similar. It's real similar to high jump. A lot of people probably won't even see it that way, but after you run off the board, you're really supposed to jump up and out. So I'm used to jumping out. So it made a lot more simple for me. I just have to get comfortable, just bring more speed and just get some more reps in, which is what I think I'm lacking right now, is actual reps. Like I said, I only did 2 real weeks before the approach. Short approach is a lot different. So, I got comfortable bringing more speed and just got to do some consistent reps. And I think that's what made it easy, and I think it's going to make it even more easy when I got more consistent next time.
Saying that, why not long jump?
I did a long jump this year. I didn't practice for it. I jumped 781, qualified me for regionals. I actually ramped up at regionals in long jump, so kind of scratched that. But you would be surprised. My coach was the long jump because I followed something once at SECs, which I thought I was probably looking at least top 4, top 3 position. But next year we're going to work on it. And there's more opportunity in long jump and diamond leagues and stuff. So we're looking at that in terms of a business standpoint and all stuff. But triple jump is my main focus still. Might get a surprise in high jump. We'll see how that goes. But for the most part, it's just triple and long right now.
Well, I talk about stress on the body, and the body would be under more stress doing triple than it would be for doing long. And the fact that you're jumping up, and you were on the verge of doing something special in high jump. So, looking at long jump, um, did you have that kind of talk, especially when you first went abroad? Was long jump kind of the training method of high jump?
Honestly, I'm gonna keep it real with you. For the most part, I went to junior college. I knew that D1 schools look for people who's pretty versatile. I didn't know that, but I was told that, and then I thought about it. I was like, why not try triple? Why not try long jump? Which I ended up excelling in pretty well. But I never really got actual training for it due to facilities and stuff in junior college. But I mean, I'm open to trying new stuff. A lot of stuff. I just find it fun just to kind of challenge myself sometimes, which is why when I went out there, my head coach, Coach Solomon, she was asking me, "You want to try long jump?" And I was just like, "Man, I kind of want to do high jump." And my Coach Gaffney was like, "You could long jump, bro." So just threw me in it for the most part. But just going out there and just trying stuff. I don't think I'm ever really afraid to just try new things. So that kind of helped me out, just being fearless with that.
Mm-hmm. Caitlin, running indoors is a little different than running outdoor because you have the banked tracks indoor. How do you adjust from indoor to outdoor and try to keep the speed?
Okay, well, I only ran on one big track in my life, and I was at the BNAA school. And that was different because I'm not used to going up and then going up to come down. And so that was very different for me. And also, indoor facilities are 20 meters, outdoors 400. So I wouldn't say it's much of a difference, just the amount of time you have to go around. But I do like the strength because mentally, in like a 500, you have like 2.5 laps. Like, okay, yeah, no big deal, come outside, run 400. That's easy. And so I think actually indoor strengthens me mentally and also physically. So I like indoor. It's just a fun that we can have this year.
Right. You look at some of the things you've been able to accomplish over your career, both indoor and outdoor. How do you focus in on what you want to accomplish each and every race? Because there's sometimes you're racing week in and week out that you want to give your all, but there's times where you can't give your all because the body has to recover.
Well, I like to go race by race because you can't on a really busy schedule like states have 4 races. I can't be like, oh my gosh, I have 55 finals, 300 finals. That's gonna be way too much for my body and the mind. So I just take it literally one race at a time. And I don't. People say you reserve some energy. I don't like reserving your energy. You never know what you could have done. And so my recovery, I actually take a green supplement called Greens, and it helps my recovery time. It's like all natural. So that helps my recovery. And I don't worry about, oh my gosh, I don't have enough recovery time. But yeah, just race by race, honestly, because if not, you're going to be mentally all over the place.
Here lately, you've tried a lot of endurance. When I say endurance, you've been doing some 800s.
Yeah.
what is the focus on doing the 800s as opposed to speed work that you've been used to doing?
Well, I wanted to run the 800 for fun. I just wanted to say, can you do the 800 one day? And then he was like, yeah. And so, well, I thought that the 800 would help my 400, but it really doesn't really help because you're not running, even though you're running more, it's not the same speed as per se the 400. And so that's why we did the 100 to help me do my speed work. But the 800 I just did it for fun. And I think sophomore year I ran like 214, 216. I was like, let me see what I can do senior year. And so I went 219. I actually had a bet if I went 212, I was at $100, and I was 5 seconds off. But I don't think anybody paced me, so I have to kind of look at my watch. And that didn't really help like that. But it was just, I do it for fun. It's not really like work.
How encouraged are you by lining up with people on the start line that you're used to seeing, and then you know you can kind of outrun them, outpace them, and so forth? How encouraged are you that you're looking at the clock trying to beat that time that you previously beat? Because obviously you're a little faster than the competition.
Yeah, it also depends on me because the meet in Oregon, I kind of had a faster speeding time, but again, the times don't matter until you get on that line. And I didn't last in my race, but I got a little fast, and it's fine. But I don't even know. I just again remain humble, so it's not like I love to see, oh, I'm faster than them, I can beat them. No, and I also have to stop looking at the clock. When I go on a shit, like I look at the clock, I forget I'm supposed to be running. So I need to stop doing that. But all I do is put on the board because I can't control it. I just tell myself to run, and sometimes I go fast, sometimes I go slow. So I really just put on the board for that one.
Now, Janai, you haven't competed here for quite some time, and there are conditions here. Even on a still day, it's windy up here. Um, how do you adjust or readjust to that?
Honestly, like I said, once again, coach is smart. So this year, it's been teaching me how to kind of read the wind. Coach Simon's actually taught me that as well when I was high jumping. Triple jump's a little different because it catches slight tailwind, and I might be like a little ahead of my mid and have to kind of chop out through the wind. So I've been kind of learning how to gauge the wind, know when it stops. If it's a headwind, he tells me not to go here rather than catch a tailwind because maybe you catch a 3.0 and it's illegal, but you still jump far. You jump far, you win. So I'm kind of gauging that. Had a little issue with the runway, being a little too short, but would have been worse anyway. I would just say that. So I went from an 18 stack and moved me down to a 16 because most runways wasn't even able to fit my approach anyway. So, anywhere you catch bad conditions, I'm jumping rain, I'm jumping 15-degree weather before, so conditions ain't really an issue. I like to compete, really. I compete anyway, so it's not a competition, I compete.
Okay.
All right, thank you very much. I know we gave you a lot of information today. But I think at this point in time, it's valid, it's valuable, and it also shows the progress that BNAA is trying to make, we're trying to do in the future. So we say thank you. We always thank you, media, very much for